All right, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? My name is Pierre Hui, aka Mr. P. The P stands for patience, and today I am your instructor, which I am very happy to be. This video is a freebie. Well, it ain't gonna cost you no money. It will cost you an email, but I think it's one that's worth it. My next class, my next webinar is going to be Shape Ups 101. And to go along with that as a compliment, this is the freebie, which is 10 things to do before the Shape Up. Now, I put these in a relative order, but all of these are important. And I tried to do the best I could for a certain order, but it's not in no particular order per se, simply because all of these things are in that brief period between the client coming to sit down in your chair and the actual application of the shape up. Okay. But without further ado, let's get into it. Number one, before the shape up, prepare your mind. Okay. Here's the thing about shape ups. Shape ups are a very, very precise process, right? So, with that being said, your hand eye coordination is going to have to match what you want to do in the plan and the system that occurs in your mind to start with. Okay. All of this process starts in your mind and then works its way to the physical application of what you're trying to do. Okay. So, some of the best some of the best shape ups that I've done, some of the best lines I've created, um, start with me picturing everything in my mind first to get it done, and then go with the application to get to a final result. Okay, so the biggest thing is preparing your mind, especially different. Everybody that gets in your chair is different, right? So you may have an older man. If you have an older man, believe it or not, I tend to have a different process as far as like shape ups are concerned for older men than I may have for, say, a teenager. I may have a different process for somebody with a different type of haircut. You got different types of hairstyles that you're dealing with. When you're dealing with kids, you already know they're going to be more lively, they're going to be more energetic and things like that. But like I said, somebody older, more more used to getting cuts and getting haircuts. Like, I prepare my mind differently because I may not need the same tools, or I may not need the same type of, what's the word? I may not need the same approach that I would need for somebody that I know their personality. That's really what I'm getting to. So you're preparing your mind to receive who you have in your chair, what they are like, and putting yourself in a position to carry out this type of process of precision and symmetry. Okay. Number two, prepare your client. Now, your client has to understand that they are getting a shape up. I know that sounds crazy. It sounds obvious, but it's still something I like to say. I like to let them know, all right, I'm about to shape up. It's time for the shape up. Now, normally they're going to know from the sound of the tremors. The tremors seem to make a different sound. They got a different type of buzz. They click on, like the tremors that I like to use. They got a certain click that people recognize that they're tremors. Even if I turn them away from the clippers and just turn them on, they could tell the difference between the tremors and the clippers. But even with that being said, me letting them know, okay, I'm about to shape you up, is saying a whole lot, as far as, okay, I'm going to need you to really be still. I'm going to really, it's going to take a certain amount of concentration as a client receiving a shape up, just as much as the barber that's executing the shape up. Number three, mind your client. This is a little different. Number two was prepare your client. Number three is mind your client. Here's the thing. When your client sits down, they all have a ritual, right? Somebody's going to sit. It never fails, right? Give them a few seconds to get themselves together. If they're sitting down, if they're just getting the shape up, right? If they're sitting down and they just getting the shape up, they just want to shape up. They have a ritual when they sit down and you're about to drape them. Like some people got to put their phone in their pockets. Some people got to take the phone out of their pockets. Some people, I don't know why, but I see so many people got to like scratch their neck or their cheek or their face, someone on their face, their forehead. It's very strange. Like it's always some little type of physical movement that I'll see people do. Like they have to, um, I don't know. I can't explain it as much as just say there's some type of physical thing that happens before they are ready. And you as a barber, if you're aware of it, it helps your cause to let them execute that a little bit before you start versus telling them, hey, hurry up and get your phone in your pocket, hurry up and do this, hurry up and do that, and like I need you ready or whatever, just trying to hurry them up. And like I said, it's just little twitches. I'm not talking about them being on the phone for like 5 minutes and nothing like that. No, I'm just saying when they sit down, before you even drape them, just watch them, just watch what they do. Like there is gonna be some type of movement that they gotta do to put them in a state of balance and equilibrium for whatever shape up service that you're about to do. The more heads you cut, the more clients that you have, the more shape ups that you do, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, number 3 was mind your client. Number 4, identify the violations. Now, this is one of my favorite parts. Okay. When I say identify the violations, if somebody comes in, they wants to shape up and they are chewing gum, spit that gum out. It's only going to make my job harder, and it's probably going to take away from the job that I can do. It may take away if I'm trying to give you my 100%, you chewing gum might get in the way, and I can only give you 95%, which for a lot of people, a lot of picky people, that's not enough. In our business, especially urban barbers, listen, there is literally no room for error. We are allowed 0 goose egg. Now see that? That's how much we're allowed. Not 1, 2, 3%. No. 0 room for error. Okay. So with that being said, you got to do something for me so I can give you the best shape up that I can possible. Right. So if I'm identifying violations, now's the time to do it. When they sit down, hey, look, man, quit chewing the gum. You got on glass. I can't take everybody I know that got glasses on. They always forget to take their glasses off. Every last one of them. So this is the time to tell them, hey, go ahead and take your glasses off. If you got earbuds on, that's a very, very common one. Take your earbuds out. Another one that gets on my nerves is people having elbows on the chair, meaning they prop their elbows up on the armrest in a certain way that I can't turn them without their elbows bumping into me. I'm not a big fan of that, and I make it known when they sit down before I even start a service, before I even drape them. Okay. Expressive talkers, this is the time to let them know about themselves. You got people when they talk, they got to turn this way. When they talk, they got to look at you. They got to stare at you. And, oh man, I didn't even know that. Right. Like this is the time to let them know. All right, look, even if you're talking, I'm going to need you to be still. You don't have to make eye contact with the person that you're talking to because they're going to put you in a position where you can possibly mess up your shape because I'm expecting you to be still and then you move when my hand-eye coordination is at this certain point and then you move to this certain point, even if it's subtle. And a lot of times clients don't know that their level of talking moves their head, right? I got a bigger one about that, about passionate clients, but we'll get into that one later because this is own category. All right. Number 5, I like to take pictures. If you have a picky client, guess what? Guess how we're going to fight those? We are going to fight that fight and win that war by taking pictures. Let me show you, especially if it's a first time client and it's, oh man, everybody I done went to, then it messed me up. I just can't find the right barber, or I just can't find a barber that give me what I want. And, or, this guy pushed my hair back, my hairline back, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right. Hey, guess how we're going to fight that? We're going to take a bunch of pictures. And when I say pictures, I mean all around that whole shape line. Okay. So you're going to take pictures of the front. You're going to take pictures of the side, all of this, back here, back of the neck, beard, all this, what your mustache look like, all of this stuff. You're going to take a load of pictures. And guess what we're going to do when we take those pictures? We're going to show it to them. Here's what your hairline looks like from my perspective. Because if your level as a client, your level of reference is here, your level of sight is here, and mine is up here somewhere, I'm going to take pictures from up here and show you what it looks like from up here, from the angles that I'm showing you. And I'm also going to show you all this stuff that if you have like thin spots, or if your hair is weird in one place, you get to see all of that at one time. So you can't blame it on me. And I'm going to show you before I do any shaping, before I pick up any trimmers. I'm going to show you about yourself. I'm going to tell you about yourself. Trust me, y'all, it will save you a lot of strife and headaches later on. Okay. Number 6, of course, clean your clippers. And I like cleaning my clippers. Of course, I clean my clippers before and after each client. I spray them down. I make sure that my clients see that in front of their face, because guess what you ain't going to say about me that I don't clean my clippers. That one's pretty much a no-brainer, self-explanatory. Number 7, analyze and evaluate. Okay. Just going with the taking pictures, you should be analyzing and evaluating anyway. And honestly, usually for me, I'm analyzing and evaluating before if somebody come in, like a lot of my clients come in early, even though I do appointments, a lot of my clients come in early. If I have somebody that I've never done a shape up on, I'm analyzing and evaluating from the time they walk in the door. There's certain things you can see from the door when they first walk in, when they sitting down, if they waiting on you, from the time they sit down in your chair. I'm always analyzing and evaluating. I'm looking for, okay, is their shape line relatively even? Is it relatively symmetrical? Is it certain things that I'm gonna have to do? Am I gonna have to create my own line? How, like, what kind of hairstyle do they got? What kind of hair do they have already? How long has it been since they've gotten a shape up? Things like that. I'm looking for all of those different things. How much curve did I need to put on the side? How much do I need to not do? What is their beard line like? What kind of beard style do they have? Where's their line on their beard? Things like that. I'm looking at all of that as I analyze and evaluate. Like I will actually devote more time than normal. Like I may be looking at your hairline a good 2-3 minutes, just turning you around in the chair, just looking at certain things, looking at it from different angles, looking at you face to face, looking at you from a 3/4 profile, looking at you from a side profile, all of that good stuff. I'm analyzing your texture of your hair. How does your hair cut when I apply the trimmers to your shape? Do you have hair that may scoop back when I shape it up? Do you have overly curly hair? Do you have resistant hair? What kind of, all of this good stuff. Your skin tone, if you light skin, you tend to turn red when you're doing the shape up, especially, if you dwelling on it, if you overshaping, what we like to call it, or if your blades are hot or anything like that. Like I'm trying to notice all of that type of stuff. Are you sweating? I'm looking at everything I can that's going to put me in a better position, because I know I'm gaining this information as I analyze and evaluate. Okay. Number 8, which kind of goes with number 7, is prepare the hair and or hair stream. So here's the thing. So let's say I come in, my haircut is low. I just want to shape up. All right. So it's very easy to identify my hair stream. If I brush this forward, this comes forward, this comes about diagonal on my hair. On the other side, it's about the same. That's easy to do. But certain times, certain situations is not so easy to do, and you have to identify it. So if somebody comes in and they got a big old afro and they have overhang over their shape, you got to identify, you got to be able to prepare the hair, identify what you need to do as far as if I comb it all back and I shape it, how is that hair going to react to the shaping that I'm doing? Do I need to prepare the hair in a different direction? Do I need to comb the perimeter? Do I need to comb it out? Do I need to brush it? Do I need to pick it out? Like what do I need to do to optimize the perimeter of hair so I can have the easiest shape possible? Okay. And I identify that for everybody. And of course, like I said, everybody is different. So you're gonna, if you did 20 shape ups, you got to develop 20 different plans. That's how different everybody is. That's how personal and specialized and unique each person's head, hairline, hair texture, all of the information that you need to know. That's how different it is from person to person to person. Okay, so it's certain things that you might have to do for one person that you don't have to do for anybody else, and vice versa. It's like that, you know. Just again, just say, all right, which direction does the hair flow, and how do I use that to my advantage? Like it may be to your advantage to prepare the hair against the hair stream, but you have to know before you start. And that's something, like I said, that I'll spend extra time on just to make sure I'm in a position when I shape the hair, it does exactly what I need it to do. And preparing the hair and preparing the hair stream, or like I said, analyzing the hair stream or getting the hair in a way, physically preparing it for the shape up by using the hair stream is only to your advantage. All right. Number 9, find the line. Finding the line is a skill that's developed only through practice and more practice and more practice. Okay. Finding the line gets really easy after, like, finding the line is probably the hardest thing ever to do when you first doing a shape up, because you don't want to. A lot of my students are very hesitant about shaping where they need to shape to get a sharp line. They feel like they're pushing the hairline back. Technically, you are identifying a line to where you can shape and it's going to give you a sharp line and nothing past that. Meaning, um, it's a no pun intended, but it's a fine line that you got to walk. So you got to have enough that when you shape it, you got to have enough that when you shape it, it creates a sharp line, but you don't want to go anywhere past that because you are going to push the shape line back. It's very difficult at first to understand that until you get a couple of shape ups under your belt, right? You know, after you've done 10 shape ups, you're still struggling to figure that part out, but you start to have an idea. After 25 shape ups, it makes more sense. After 50, 75, 100 shape ups, after doing shape ups for months, it'll be much easier. Finding a line just as a general principle is much easier. You know, you get to the point where it's just second nature to you. Okay. Number 10, dial down the passion. Here's why I left this one for last, because with all of this being said, I don't know what it is about clients. Right when you're about to start your application of the shape up, right when you start in the execution of the shape up, it is always something. I don't know if it's a trigger for somebody to start talking. And when I tell you, for me, the toughest trigger when I'm about to do shape ups is sports by far. It is always sports. For whatever reason, I'm about to do the shape up. That's when everybody want to start talking about your team suck, your quarterback this, your receiver that. Oh, we getting this new guy from the draft, blah, blah, blah. Your coach is awful. You need a new team, whatever, whatever, whatever. We going to the Super Bowl, whatever, whatever, whatever. For some reason, right when I'm about to literally start with those tremors, and I get to here, as soon as I get to here, somebody always want to start talking. So I cut it off at the root, meaning I tell them, all right, I'm about to start on this shape up. Before I start on this shape up, before I turn these trimmers on and start executing, we at the final step of all this evaluation, all of this stuff. I need you to dial down your passion, because if you don't, you're going to put me in a position to where it's very likely I'm going to mess up or shape up too much or go too high or go too far to the side or cut too much of your mustache off. Like that's, oh my God, that's a big one for people that are getting facial hair shaped up. I can literally spend right here. I can literally spend 15, 20 minutes just trying to cut this because somebody wants to talk. And as you can tell, as my mouth is moving, I can't shape this up because it's moving, right? If I'm making facial expressions, if I'm smiling like that, all of that just moves. And you have to understand, you are in a barbershop, you are in a social environment. That's the first thing everybody wants to do is congregate and talk. But you have to let them know, listen, relax on the passion while I'm trying to shape you up. Okay? If you can do that, and you do that before you even start the application, you will save yourself a lot of headache, a lot of irritation, a lot of irritability, a lot of just you'll put yourself in the best position to give your client the best shape up. Okay? I know it's a couple more that I probably could go into detail, but I think y'all get the gist of it. Okay. But yeah, like all of this stuff is second nature. And, I know I've been talking for over 20 minutes about all these different things, but honestly, all of this is happening literally from the time they sit in your chair to the time they're draped and you're ready to start the application of the shape up. So we're literally talking maybe a minute or two, if that. All of these different things are happening. Okay, but yeah, again, I'm your instructor, Pierre Huey, aka Mr. P. The P is for patience. You can find me on all my social medias at Pierre Huey, Pierrehouey. My classes are powered by Kajabi, which I love. All my digital education can be found either through my link tree, which is again Pierre Huey, or my barber school website, which is allevenbarberschool.com. Trying to think anything else that I might need to go over. Well, if you have any questions, if you have any feedback to reach me about this, if you have any testimonies that this freebie can help you with, leave it all in the comment section. I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope to see y'all at the Shape Up webinar. Okay. Y'all have a good night. Peace.